going to put an end to all people, for the earth is filled with violence and corruption. Because of this, I am going to destroy both them and the earth. Thus, because wickedness abounded everywhere, mankind had condemned itself to extinction. In all the land, only Noah and his family were righteous. So the Lord commanded him to build an ark that they alone would survive.
Hear that?
Oh, it's just woodpeckers.
Sounds like somebody's building something.
Let's go see. Coming, Moki?
Got a great dream going. A giant breakfast, pancakes and eggs and...
But maybe they're building a house.
Big deal.
But a house means a kitchen, and a kitchen means food.
Food? Oh, what are we waiting for? Wow, it sure is a biggie.
But what kind of a house is that? It's round and upside down.
It's not a house, it's a boat. Don't you realize what we're seeing? That's Noah building the ark.
You're right. It is the ark.
Come on, we've got to get down there.
Oh, what's all the excitement? What's an ark? Have no fear. Moki is here.
Are you all right?
Oh, that was close. These young people kept those boards from falling on me.
A rock rolled down and hit them.
Probably with some help. My wife and I thank you.
Well, it was the least we could do.
I'm just glad we happened to be here.
But why would anybody do that?
Our neighbors think we are fools to build the ark.
But there are so few of you.
Yes, only 8 of us. My wife and I and our 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, and their wives. But it is the Lord's will.
I'm Margot, and this is Derek, and this is Moki.
And if we can help, we'd like to.
You are welcome. But I must warn you, the work will be hard.
I'm allergic to hard work.
We have little time before huge floods shall sweep in and drown the earth.
Floods! Let's get to work. The sooner the better.
Rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shalt pitch it within and without with pitch. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. A window shalt thou make to the ark, and a cubit shalt thou finish it above. And the door of the ark shalt thou set in the side thereof, which lower, second, and third story shalt thou make it. And of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female. And you shall gather enough food for your family, and for all the animals.
Oh, there they are.
Who?
Our good neighbors to make their usual jokes. One day they'll go too far.
Well, well, well. What do you suppose this is?
Awfully big. Must be a barn.
Right, a barn. And Noah is the biggest donkey of them all.
Be gone about your business and leave us to ours.
There he is. All bow down to the king of sawdust.
Please, sire, we're only poor ignorant farmers. Tell us again what you're gonna float that barn on, the dew?
God hath warned, the mighty rains shall come.
But if they do, you won't need a boat, Noah. Your head's hollow enough to keep you afloat.
They can't talk that way to you.
Japheth, they're leaving.
But they will return to jeer again.
Give them not your anger, but your prayers, my son. For they are all doomed to a watery grave.
Watery grave?
I didn't realize it was going to be so huge.
Big as an ocean liner.
But it's missing one little thing. An ocean.
But you heard Noah, the rains are coming.
Sure gonna take a whole lot of water to reach way up here in the mountains.
there will be a lot of water.
More rain and water than the Earth has ever known.
But suppose it doesn't?
You'll hear from that bunch of comedians.
Yeah, your friendly neighborhood hecklers.
What are you doing here?
Come to annoy us like the others?
Hey, I'm your friend, remember? I think it's wonderful what you boys are doing for your father. Just wonderful. Here, let me help.
What are you after?
Me? I'm not after anything. But something does bother me. What have you done for yourselves and your wives? You've all been so busy helping Noah, you haven't been able to do anything for yourselves. You have no land, no cattle, no chance to raise your families. It just doesn't seem fair to you young people.
But the Ark is important.
Yes. But suppose, just suppose, the rains don't come. You, your wives, you'll have nothing.
We obey Father.
I have an idea. This is good lumber. I can arrange to trade it for land and cattle.
Trade the lumber?
Think about it. Let me know tomorrow. Your wives are entitled to something.
The answer is no.
You're making a mistake. You're being pig-headed. I hope you and your crazy father break your necks on that stupid boat. You're fools, all of you.
That's the last plank, Father. The honor is yours.
This great ark, commanded by God, built by men and women, I now pronounce complete.
Thus did Noah, according to all that God commanded him. So did he.
One final task. We must now gather and bring aboard a pair of every living creature on earth.
The Lord said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by two the male and his female. Of fowls also of the air by sevens the male and his female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth for 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of all the earth.
Two elephants? Those were elephants, weren't they?
2 deer. Oh, isn't that doe adorable? I'll come down later and make certain you have a nice stateroom.
2 dogs? Oh, 2 fleas. Ah, 1 hump. Oh, 2 humps.
Make sure all the animals are bedded down comfortably, because the great rains and floods come tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
That's what he said.
Tomorrow.
Come on, you're gonna miss the boat. That's it. Hurry! Oh. Oh, come on.
Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. And Noah went in, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him into the ark because of the waters of the flood.
Hey, look, she likes me. I'll have to think of a name for her. How about, Dolores? What's the matter, Derek?
Did you look outside this morning? Not a cloud in the sky. And this is the day Noah said the gigantic rains would come.
Maybe it'll start this afternoon.
I hope so. For Noah's sake, but for everyone else out there, I don't know.
That door's sure heavy. We'll have to figure some way to close it.
What's the weather like? My eyes aren't what they used to be.
Well,
The horizon is dark with rain clouds, is it not?
there are no clouds, Father.
Not one?
Father, even if the rains don't come, we still have all this fine lumber.
The rains will come.
Glad you waited, Noah. We were afraid you might have floated off during the night before we could say goodbye.
Come on in, Noah. The water's great.
If you really think water's coming up here, you're drunker than I am.
Hey, Noah, how many other monkeys you got in that zoo?
Pay no heed. The rains will come today. Of this I am certain.
They must come. He heard God's promise.
But suppose, in all good faith, he didn't quite hear correctly. He's been so outraged by the wickedness in the village. Perhaps he only heard what he wanted to hear.
No, I believe him.
Where are your rain clouds, Noah?
I think you got it all wrong. Your God isn't gonna drown us. He's gonna kill us with sunburn.
That big wooden box full of animals would make a great barbecue. Let's set it on fire.
They wouldn't.
Don't be so sure.
The door, it's closing.
It's the hand of God.
Let's go drag them out of there.
We can't. They're closing the door. We'll never be able to break through that.
Well, we can still set the whole thing on fire. Set it on fire, on fire.
And the Lord shut him in. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, on the 17th day of the month, that same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heavens were opened, and the rain was upon the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. In the selfsame day entered Noah, and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and his 3 wives of his sons with him into the ark.
Father, I have to admit one thing. I had my moments of doubt.
I know, my son. It was a test of faith for all of us, even me.
How long will the storm last?
40 days and 40 nights. Go now. Comfort the animals. We're about to endure the mightiest tempest in the history of all creation.
Where you going? The fun's just beginning. We'll grab that crazy old fool and...
Noah was right. We're all going to drown.
It's just a passing shower. Come back! All of you, come back! It's nothing! Noah's God is a sham, you hear me? A sham!
These people and the animals and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after his kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort. They went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life.
It's only the thunder.
And they that went in male and female of all flesh, as God has commanded him.
They're not laughing at us now.
Be not vindictive, my son. True, they themselves were the cause of their own destruction, but I grieve for them and pray for their souls.
And the flood was upon the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. The waters increased and buried up the ark, and it was lifted up upon the earth.
Hang on, here we go. Oh, I wish I could remember something besides now I lay me down to sleep.
Waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went upon the face of the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered. and all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both of fowl, and both of cattle, and of beast, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man, all in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land, died.
Oh, don't laugh, King Kong. You better come help unless you're a good swimmer. All right, your turn, big fella. Oh, I knew there was some reason for that horn.
Look, the doe. Derek, she's hurt her leg.
We'll need a splint. I'll get a board and some bandages.
Hurry, she's frightened. Don't be afraid, I've got you.
Nice work, fellows. Remind me to give you some extra chow tonight. If we last that long.
That should do it.
Tell me, where do you keep the life rafts?
What are life rafts?
I was afraid you'd say that.
And of every substance was destroyed, which was upon the face of the ground, both man and the cattle, and the creeping things, and the fowl of the heaven. And they were destroyed from off the earth. And
There's
Noah
still some
only
leaks,
remained
Jeff.
alive,
The water's
and they
up to
that
the
were with him in the
floorboards
ark.
back there.
We've started bailing it out. Derek's got a couple of friends helping.
And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days.
What do you think?
I think her leg will heal, thanks to you.
Oh, if this storm would only stop, she'd have a better chance of not banging it on something.
Well, it can't last much longer. Where's little Moki? I haven't seen him around.
Last I saw, he was taking some boards into the supply room. He's probably making some shelves.
They'll be thankful somebody had the sense to make a life raft.
And God remembered Noah, and every living thing, and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged.
Man, the life raft! Ow! Ooh, I mean, what's up? Where are we?
There's something strange going on. Feel it?
I don't feel anything.
That's what's so strange. Hey, everybody, the storm's over.
The fountains also of the deep and the windows of the heavens were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained.
If I could just
And the
see
waters
one tiny
returned
little
from
place
off the
to
earth
land.
continually, and after
have a better
the end of
chance now that it's
150
calm.
days, the waters
But
were
I guess
abated.
we really won't know if it's mended until we reach land. Then we'll see if she can get around on it. When do you think that'll be?
We'll have to ask Noah.
Our food supply is getting low. How much longer before we land? How much longer will it be, Father?
I don't know.
But didn't God tell you?
No, we must wait.
I am not going to keep running up that ladder to look out the window no more.
Good.
I've been running up there every 2 seconds. That's over. Finished.
You've got great willpower.
After all, looking for land won't make it show up any quicker, right?
The watched pot never boils.
I'll just do my work and never even think of running up that ladder.
Need more water here.
Of course, you could go up and take a look.
Wouldn't be fair to you. Nothing.
I tried to tell you.
And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark
Surely
which
the
he
good
had
Lord
made,
would not have saved us from the storm, for us to perish in the calm. I shall release this raven.
and he sent forth a raven, which
does
went
not
forth
return,
to and fro
that will
until the
mean he found
waters
a
were
place
dried
to
up
roost,
from off the earth.
and that there is land out there.
So he sent forth a dove from him, to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him into the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth.
Oh, I never thought that I could miss land so much. I even keep hoping I'll find sand in my spinach.
I'm sure there's land out there. You'll see. That raven will never come back.
Oh, well. Back to the spinach.
He put forth his hand, and took her, and put her in unto him into the
Perhaps
ark.
the dove you released today will find land.
Perhaps. But the dove we sent last week found none, and our animal food is running low. We may have to take measures.
You mean we may have to choose between those to feed and those to let die?
Possibly. I suppose the elephants would have to go first. They consume so much.
No, not the elephants. They are such wondrous creatures.
They are all wondrous.
He stayed yet other 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove out from the ark.
Perhaps it would be more humane to slaughter the animals quickly now, rather than having them starve.
It would be less painful. But I can't believe the good Lord intended for even one of his beloved creatures to perish.
I'll get started. I suppose the larger animals first.
The dove came to him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. He stayed yet other 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him any more.
Little dove.
It's been a whole week since the dove brought back that olive branch.
And yesterday the dove didn't come back at all, so there must be land.
The dove must have fallen into the sea, for there's certainly nothing out there but water.
Receive our thanks, O Lord, for your many blessings. If we are worthy, we pray you will soon reveal to us your clean new land.
And the ark rested on the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat. It came to pass in the 600th year, and the first year, in the first month, on the first day of the month, the waters were dried up from off the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. And the 2nd month, on the 7th and 20th day of the month, was the earth dry. God spake unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, thou and thy wife and thy sons' wives with thee. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee, and of all flesh, both of fowl, of cattle, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful and multiply upon the earth. And Noah went forth, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him, every beast, every creeping thing, and of every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth, after their kinds went forth out of the ark.
I just figured I'd have it handy, just in case any of you panicked.
Oh, yes, of course.
Here she comes.
She's walking.
Come on now, you can do better than that. That's it. That's the way to go. Go on now, you'll be fine. And have lots of little ones just as frisky as you are.
And Noah built an altar unto the Lord, and took of every clean beast, and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings unto the altar.
Thanks for everything, Shem.
The Lord smelled a sweet savor, and the Lord said to his heart, I will not again curse the ground for man's sake.
Let us now give thanks to the Lord who reigns over the earth and the seas, and who has delivered us.
Noah, look!
So God painted a beautiful rainbow in the sky as a sign for his promise.
Praise the Lord.
And he said,
And then God set his rainbow in the sky, saying, This sign is my promise that never again will there be a flood to destroy men from earth. So whenever the rainbow appears in the heavens above, you will see it and remember this everlasting covenant between me and all living creatures.